What's poppin', y'all? This is D-Drug with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great, and even the ones behind the scenes. I see y'all too. So, hey, look, in this lifetime, you have to be willing to understand that there will be people in your life who are petty without explanation, and you have to be willing to sometimes live on the edge and take a risk. And the reason why I say that is because I know y'all seen that video on YouTube where Boosie got on the water slide even when they closed it off. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think of it like this: it's probably some people that are biased towards a certain ethnicity at the water park, and they shut the water ride down just because they seen Boosie at the park. And so he decided to hop over the railing and get on the slide anyway. What's the worst that can happen out of that? You know what I'm saying? They kick y'all out the park and you go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? The ride was functioning, but if you were to call it out, there'll be people who say, oh, we shut the ride down because we had a malfunction. It wasn't nothing wrong with it at all. They just probably, their spirit was feeling some type of way, so they decided to shut the ride down just to be petty. There are people who act like that all around the world, and a lot of people who monitor your actions and what you do, you know what I'm saying, and they see the light in you, they be petty on purpose. Say like there's something that you always do every morning the same way. They'll try to stop that, you know what I'm saying, just to be petty. You can't call it out, because then they'll have a justifiable reason why they did that, to make it look like, or make you think that, you know what I'm saying, you tripping or you delulu. No, I ain't delulu. You did that on purpose. You feel me? Because you tried to block my light from shining, because you're paying attention and you're watching me, and you think that something I'm doing is the reason why I embody a certain essence. No, I don't embody a certain essence because I'm doing that. I'm being myself. Maybe you should try it. You know what I'm saying? And so then you would be able to see how people just be petty for no reason at all. On the surface, they can come up with any reason why they did what they did, but their spirit won't lie. You know what I'm saying? It'll tell you exactly, you know what I'm saying, what they intended to do. For example, the other day, I was talking to someone, and someone rudely interrupted and was like, oh, my bad, I didn't mean to interrupt. And I was like, but you did though. And they was like, I know. Right, so you just told on yourself. At that point, I just stopped talking. You didn't mean to interrupt. It's just a pacifying for me to not know what you're doing, but you really meant to interrupt on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And then it's almost as if you wake people up to their awareness. Don't be afraid to say something. You know what I'm saying? You got to be understanding the type of world we living in now. People will keep doing certain behaviors to you if you allow them to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's a way that you tell them, hey, look, hey, that ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's really justifiable in people that feel as if they hold a certain power over you. You know what I'm saying? They'll try it. They'll try it. So you got to be able to stop them in their tracks, because they've been operating that way for so long. They don't think it's nothing wrong in what they do. You know what I'm saying? So listen, sometimes you got to live on the edge a little. A lot of things are not rules and are not laws. You can do them. It's just people's control and the way they brainwash people, and how you thinking that you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can. There's no law that say you can't do that, but you got to be able to think outside the box, because it's almost as if, like, once you get brainwashed, you tend to think a whole way that somebody else thinks, and anybody that goes against that is the opposition. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that you should look at as a threat to the system, without even understanding or thinking for 1 second, like, hey, they just being themselves and using their mind to, you know what I'm saying, overstep the things that try to keep them in a box. You know what I'm saying? And listen, a lot of us have that power more than we know. We just allowed someone else to use it, so we don't, you know what I'm saying, look at it as a freedom. We look at it as something we should hide. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not backing down from nothing. If there's another way around something, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? I had the same type of situation this morning. People be intentionally doing things to try to stop you from bossing up because they see what you got going on. You know what I'm saying? Think outside the box. And when you do that, you shut their whole shit down mentally. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes subconsciously, they don't even know they doing it. They just know they got some information from the higher ups to tell them whatever you do, block this person. You know what I'm saying? And they will intentionally do things that they don't normally do to try to block you, go around it. When you do that, you shut everything down. They completely move out the way. Yeah, because this ain't that and that ain't this. You know what I'm saying? I'm me. And because my mind has the ability to think around a problem, because I've been faced with problems my whole life, you can't, you know what I'm saying, hold that against me. That's not a crime. I can't go to jail for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way you operate and who you're brainwashed to believe you are operates in a certain box. And anybody who steps outside that box is considered guilty. You know what I'm saying? In a court of judgment. I tend to think differently. The world is switching, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people will face extreme judgment the moment that they think that they can keep doing that to people for no reason at all other than fear, power, and control. You know what I'm saying? There are so many people that are assigned to these dark individuals that, you know what I'm saying, they clearly see you and your energy as opposition to their whole system. You know what I'm saying? And I think truly it's because a lot of them don't know how to be themselves. Once you figure out how to be yourself, you and everything you stand on is a threat to the power and control. Because you have the ability to go around, to overthink, to overstep. You're not confined to a box, and that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? They don't like anybody that thinks outside the box, that feels as if they can do something out of order. Not that it's against the law, not that it's a rule, it's just you're thinking differently. And we don't like that because you have the ability to free yourself from the control box that we have everybody in. It's crazy, but it's so real. Sometimes you just got to sit back, relax, and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? And just watch, because everything that you know is to be true will come to light over time. Because a lot of people who are brainwashed to think a certain way don't even realize sometimes the things that they do. You know what I'm saying? They just do them subconsciously, not realizing there may be someone, you know what I'm saying, in your environment that may be a little bit smarter than you as far as waking up to certain things that they have been programmed to do that can see through that. You know what I'm saying? And so they try their best to hide it, but you can't hide your real self for too long. Eventually it'll be exposed. You know what I'm saying? So listen, never be too afraid to think outside the box. Take a risk. You know what I'm saying? If you know you ain't doing nothing wrong and you staying inside the box and people just intentionally trying to block you off because they're upset, you know what I'm saying? At the light you carry, you got to be willing to override it anyway. That'll cripple everything they think they got going on in their head, because those are the systems that they use to put people in a state of mental fog, and then all of a sudden they start doing, you feel me, everything that they want them to do and not thinking for themselves. There are systems that are set up and designed like that on purpose. But I'm tending to think it's a flip. Just, you feel me, just override it. Don't get aggressive. Don't get mad. Just, you feel me, override it. Put it back. Okay, you feel me? I'm going to do me. I've been doing me. Don't try to stop me from doing me because you upset because you can't do you. You feel me? Your authentic self vanished a long time ago when you converted over to what people wanted you to be. But I think now is the time that you go get yourself back. You know what I'm saying? Go find yourself. It'll be the best thing you've ever did. You know what I'm saying? Love rules. Love is the signature of the world and the energy on the planet right now. Loving yourself to be able to love others is going to be what's evident in this world, because the darkness is slowly dying. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are waking up to how they've been persuaded to convert themselves to move in darkness, that they're almost like zombies. You know what I'm saying? Their life has been taken over by someone, and then they take over other people's lives. But dare to be different. You know what I'm saying? Dare to put your foot on a limb a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Speak up. Be free to say what you mean, how you feel. Tell people the truth, because a lot of people are in a state of illusion. You know what I'm saying? They don't know nothing other than what they've been taught to believe to be the truth, you know what I'm saying, which is holding them back from real self-love, you know. So it's turning into a different world these days, so don't be afraid. You can step out on a limb. Listen, if you've done your research and you've studied and you see that this is not a law, this is not a rule, and you do it, don't let them scare you into thinking that's not okay. You can do it. It's just they don't want you to have your own mind. So the easier they frighten you back into the box, then you know, hold yourself back from actually setting yourself free, you know? So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.